Hi, this is Jennifer with Jenovate, and these are 10 mistakes that I've made with projects where I had to eat the cost. Bathroom renovation without the proper valves. Most fixtures for your bathroom, the shower in particular, has shower parts that we all see, but then inside the wall, there's a piece that's called the valve. For some reason, the valve is proprietary to the fixture. So for every fixture, there is a corresponding valve. When you go to buy your shower fixtures, it does not automatically include the valve, something that I did not know, and a mistake that I made when you're on site and your contractor calls and says, where is the valve? In some interior design circles, that would be the responsibility of the plumber. But since we're making aesthetic decisions and the contractor handles everything else, we chose a shower fixture, and that shower fixture has its own valve that will control the outside. So if you forget the valve, then you're out of luck. You can't put it in. And the other thing to know about valves, since we're on the topic, is that that goes in before the walls are closed up. So you cannot start your renovation and not have decided on your plumbing fixtures, because once they do the demo, that's one of the first things that they need to put inside the wall, is the rough electric and the rough plumbing. I did a kitchen renovation that had a small addition. The kitchen was 2 rooms, and we take a measure, we plan the whole room, order the cabinets. The cabinets come. The ceiling height of both rooms were 2 very different heights, and I was the one in the wrong because I had taken the measurements and did not measure the second room, assuming that the ceilings were going to be the same. We had cabinets that didn't fit into the kitchen, and I had to order all new cabinets on my dime. Now we measure there, everywhere. That sucked. Most cabinet companies do not finish the end side piece of the cabinet unless you tell them. So when you do a cabinet design, you have to tell them where to finish the ends. It would be pointless for them to finish all of the ends and then nobody sees them. So wherever there's an exposed end, you have to tell them to finish that side, finish this side, finish this side. And it's very easy to miss. Luckily, you can order an extra skin and the contractor can put it on, but that's time and money that you would like to avoid. You revise things so many times, so many shuffling things. This cabinet then becomes this cabinet, but then this one had an exposed end and this one didn't. So then now you've just shuffled them around and you've exposed an end that is not there. So there's repeated going over and going over and going over. It kind of happens all the time. And it happens. This was a situation where the clients bought their own appliances. That's not always something that we do. We really prefer to handle everything, but the client had bought all their appliances and I forgot that they had a drawer microwave, which means I had to, on the fly, order a rush order for a cabinet. So make sure that you have all of your appliances very clearly spelled out and that you have all of the dimensions of your appliances ahead of time. Our job is to get all of the materials on site before the job starts, so that when the contractor shows up, all they essentially have to do is gather a kit of all of the components of the design according to the drawings. We had a sink, beautiful $800 farm sink. When we opened it from the box, even though we had looked in the box and saw, yep, that's the sink had a giant crack down it. It had been 3 months and they wouldn't stand by and let us return it. So I had to buy a new sink. The moral of the story is completely open your boxes and completely look over all the things. When I owned a restaurant, it was when you would do inventory, you'd be like, I have butter. Oh yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, I have that. You need to put your eyeballs on it. This is the same thing. You have to open it up and assume that it's wrong and see if it's exactly what you ordered. When you order a sink, such as a vessel sink or a faucet, the one piece that isn't always there is the drain. And that's not a super big expense, but it will hold up your project. Get everything ahead of time, get it on site, because if a contractor has to stop and go someplace else, then you're stuck with the battle of getting them to come back. Contractors are independent businesses that have to fill 5 days a week with work. You are not the only project that they are working on, ever. For any independent business, you are not the only client. So planning to have all of your materials on a job site so that none of the tradespeople have to stop because you don't have the right parts is really important. The hickory doors, yeah. So when you have cabinets and people choose the finish, a lot of the cabinet companies make you sign a disclaimer saying that you understand that this is wood, and wood has variations. We get sample blocks of what the finishes are, and on the back it says what the finish is and what the wood is, so that you can say, I want my cabinets to be out of hickory and a natural finish. So we ordered an entire kitchen with sample block that we sit on their tray with all the other finishes that we have for tile and grout and wall color and everything. And the cabinets come and they do not match the block at all. They are hickory natural, but they're actually something called calico hickory, and they are tiger striped. If I held that block up to those kitchen cabinet doors, there's nothing matching on that block to those doors. We had to order the entire kitchen all over. I guess the moral of the story is to always get a door sample and not rely on color blocks. The cabinet company didn't have any sympathy for the fact that they said in their documentation that it was calico hickory and that there would be large variations in the wood. My understanding of large variations in the wood still held up to the block that I had in my hand and said, yeah, there are large variations in that wood, but it was in no way what we ended up getting. The hickory doors, the very expensive hickory doors. When you order cabinets, you can get soft close, so it's not slamming against it. But if you get an inset cabinet, which is a whole nother video, if you get an inset cabinet, you can get what's called exposed barrel hinges. I sat there with a client and we picked this door, this finish, this door style, these hinges, these finish hinges, and I had a conversation with the client about the color of those hinges. But when they came, the client wanted and expected that they were getting soft close hinges, not the exposed barrel hinges. The client even went so far as to say that I would never have chosen that. I understand now that it was a misunderstanding, but that's something to be very explicit about because we had to order all new hinges and pay for them all to be installed properly. I'm afraid she'll be watching and say, wait, that was me, but you know, we paid for it, so. In the beginning, when I was not really sure how other interior designers did things, I charged all my clients exactly what the product cost me. I now know most interior designers mark their product up 25 or 35%. I still don't do that, but I thought prices were fixed. Now I know that they are not. Some of the box stores prices fluctuate so much that I couldn't stand by and say this piece is $4.52 because 3 days later it would be $9.87. And that percentage was happening across all of the product. Same with shipping. People would just send me a completely different unexpected shipping amount once the product was actually ordered. Consequently, I do put a markup on products. It's not as large as other interior designers, but that buffer allows me the peace of mind to not have to come back and readjust prices for clients. I try very hard to come up with a price that I can stand by for all the products. In the beginning, I felt it was my responsibility. I said it was going to be this much, so I'm only going to charge you this much, and I ended up eating a lot of those extra expenses just because I felt like it was up to my own integrity to stand by what I had told them. Little did I know that it's not even really the industry practice to do that. I do not do designer flat fees. All over Instagram, all over the YouTubes are interior design instructors telling you to flat fee your projects. I started out trying to heed that advice and give flat fees, but my feeling is that it's more fair to people by going with an hourly. And there are some caveats to that, but my time is one of the things that I've lost the most money on, trying to figure out what went wrong, how to troubleshoot problems, how to reorder, return, all of the things that go into a renovation or a design project, and stand by the basic amount of time that I told them that it would be. Stuff always comes up, and clients always get free time. When a client comes to me and tries to contest the time that we're billing them for, I just hope that they understand that they've gotten so much of my time for free, because I care about people's projects, I care about my reputation, and because I want to stand by my word. These are 10 things that I happen to have gone through, but the real moral of the story is plan, 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 plan. Really do as much planning, measure twice, check your dimensions a gazillion times. I have to trust my past self a lot, because renovations happen 2 months after we've ordered the product a lot of the time. So I go back and say, was I kind to my future self? Did I do this all right?